so that anybody who is missing out, and if they want the video, especially Neelu, she requested that she won't be able to join the session. So if video link will be available later. So for people who are interested, I'm just recording for them. It will not be public, but only for the people from our group. So yeah. All right, so 3 more minutes.
Excuse me.
And if anybody is entering, just feel free to say hi. Probably we won't have the time to introduce all of you, but just maybe a hi. This is, let's say, Kavita here. That would be nice.
Hi, this is Shalini here.
Hi, Shalini.
Hi, this is Kavita.
Hi, Kavita.
Hi, Nritla.
Hi, it's Neha.
Hi.
Hi,
This is
Neha.
Preeti.
Hi, Preeti.
Hey, this is Chitra.
Hi, Sonal.
Hi, Chitra. Good to see you.
Good to see you too.
Yeah, this is Gauri. I am on my daughter's account, so it shows up as Ananya, but this is me.
All right. Okay. Hi, Gauri. Good to see.
Hello.
Good to not see you. All right. Yeah, video is optional because Sunita kind of pushed me, so I had to put on my tired face. But it's optional. It's okay. So we are going to get started in about 1 minute, right, Aparna?
Yeah, I think that sounds good.
Okay. Yeah, because I want to give the speaker as well as the participants enough time to speak and discuss.
Sure. Neha, that's funny. Mom Uber duty, I'm guessing.
Oh.
Neha says
funny.
she's on Uber duty.
That's fine, Neha. We saw your pretty face, so that is good enough for now. So I guess, how many do we have? We have 13. All right, Aparna, I think we should go ahead and get started. It's already 6:05, and whoever
Okay,
will join, they
sounds
can
good.
they can just join in.
Sure. So I believe that most of you, at least half of you, have met Sunita before, but we all know she's been participating in our fitness group so much, and so we know a lot about her fitness. You probably may or may not know she actually has a PhD in genetics, human genetics. I had to stalk her LinkedIn page to figure that out, but that is, and she works as an associate director at the FDA. So the reason that we're all here is because Sunita has, I guess, another PhD in healthy eating, and there is well, not technically a degree on paper, but she's actually dropped some things here and there. And we were like, oh my God, you know so much. So Sonal, as you guys know, she has this amazing platform for all of us women for this fitness, and, you know, healthy eating is a huge part of fitness. So we thought that Sunita could share some information with us. Yeah.
All right, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yes, we can.
Okay, just let me know if you can't hear me. Sometimes these computer speakers are a mess. But thank you, Aparna, Sonal, everyone for being here and bringing and coming together, for giving me this opportunity. The talk is labeled diets, but I think of, so the term diet to me means more about good eating habits and lifestyle. So that's, when I use the word diet, that's kind of what I'll really be referring to. And remember, this talk today is just one of the pillars. If you think of a house built on a foundation, this is one of just the pillars of good health, right? I mean, Sonal and so many of you have brought up We talk about exercise, eating habit is really important. Eating habits are extremely important. Mental health, which incorporates, yoga and those types of, wonderful activities. That's really important. So I'm just talking about kind of the dietary aspect of health. So, and I'm going to just summarize some of the information that I've been, putting on the Facebook groups or in the WhatsApp chats and whatever. There's a lot of information. If any of you have specific questions, always feel free to ping me offline. Happy to help any way I can. And so after I kind of give some summary information, I want to open it up for a Q&A, interactive discussion, because we learn from each other. This is just not, I don't know everything. It's an evolving process. When I'm 80 years old, I'll discover something new, hopefully. So we learn from each other. So I want this to be like that. Lastly, everything I'm talking about today is literally what's worked for me. After receiving, and remember, it's after receiving, I've received input from my fitness friends. I have personal trainers, my own research throughout the last several years. So these are just my opinions and my opinions only, based on my fitness goals. So I'm just sharing those with you. So take what you would like from it, or bits and pieces, and hopefully you'll find something that helps. So as a little bit of background, this particular approach I'm going to talk about, it's helped me because, I started this journey very hardcore, I guess, 5 years ago because, I wasn't feeling good. I wasn't feeling healthy. I've, had 2 children. They're 9 and 11 now. So, I was out of that baby phase. We all have careers and lots of stress at home. So I let go of my health a little bit. But this approach I'm talking about, it helped me lose over 36 pounds, shaved 100 points off my cholesterol. I reduced my triglycerides in half, cut my body fat percentage at least 10 points. It's helped me increase strength, endurance, muscle mass during exercise. I enjoy my life with my kids. It's just helped me a lot. So I'm very passionate about just sharing what I know from others, and I'm still continuing to learn. So that's also part of why I'm here. So it's taken me years to understand and keep evolving. So there's some general principles I want to just talk about that I've said again before that I think are really important. Number one, there is no such thing as a perfect diet. We're not seeking, we shouldn't be seeking perfection. It's just what are the best eating habits and foods for us. I've seen unhealthy people that eat meat. I've seen unhealthy vegetarians. I've seen unhealthy vegans. There's no perfect label, no perfect diet. You create a healthy diet, a healthy eating plan based on your understanding of nutrition, reading food labels, understanding what ingredients do to your body, what they are, avoiding processed foods and drinks as much as you can. Artificial sweeteners, excess cooking oil, those types of things, that can go a long way. Also, I personally have never engaged in a fad diet. There's a lot of different terms out there: keto, low carb, this, that. I personally don't do that because the lifestyle I'm leading regarding eating, I want to be able to do it 10 years out, 20 years out, 40 years out. I only want my body to improve and grow. So I don't want to stop and start something new and keep up with the latest. Personally, my friends who do those things, I don't see them happy and successful and moving forward. So for me, it's about moving forward and sustaining a certain lifestyle. So the eating plan I'm using it's called, macro counting. So this is very high level. I'm going to talk about it because I can do a week seminar on this. So basically, a macro-based eating approach is when you balance, kind of your big macronutrients and live by certain thresholds, but very loosely, not too strict. So you look at your caloric intake every day, you look at your fat intake, your protein intake, your carbohydrate intake. I also encourage people to look at sodium, sugar, other types of things too. But macro-based eating is kind of looking at those big factors I just mentioned. It doesn't mean you stress out if you go 5 points over or certain grams over. It just means based on your current level of activity, what your fitness goals are, how much weight you want to lose, lots of different things, what activity you may use in the future, fitness activities or all those sorts of things. There's a profile for you. So you can use a macro calculator. I think I posted the link before, but if you even want to Google, it's called Legion Athletics Macro Calculator. You can Google it. It'll come up with a free calculator and you can input like your height, weight, age, current activity level, all those things. And it'll give you some thresholds to think about, what your daily intake should look like. So so basically in a nutshell, that's kind of how I learned about balancing all, different factors, not just saying, okay, I'm going to go low carb, or low cal or low this. It's about a balance. So I like that approach. And it's something I've sustained for the last 5 years because it's a balanced approach. Again, there's a lot I can say about this. We can come back to it. I want to move on to my next points, but I'll leave that right there. The best thing I can tell you today that works for me that I really do implore you all to do is meal prepping. Meal prepping is the best thing you can do. We're all busy. We all have hunger cravings throughout the day. If you can put aside a couple of hours on a Sunday, maybe 1 hour, if you can prep your lunch and prep your portions out for the week, when hunger strikes, you have your portion, put it in the microwave or just eat it, or eat your snack or have everything prepared out, have your dinner prepared out. It's so much work over a weekend or whatnot, but you will see a difference. It will create habits. You can eat at specific times. You have your food ready. The times I really slip, even in my own home, or skip a meal or don't eat correctly is when I don't have something prepared because I got too busy on a Sunday. It's okay. It's going to happen. But I feel the best when I have food ready in the fridge and it's ready to go. And I've already thought it through. So I really, really encourage all of you of anything I'm saying today to, try to do that. The other thing I'll talk about is rewarding ourselves. So I like to reward myself for hard work in the gym, maybe with a chocolate square or maybe with, Ghirardelli bar, like a square, something like that. Trader Joe's has little triangles. Because I have a sweet tooth, I have a very bad sweet tooth. So when the dessert craving hits, I can eat one of those. But, as we're looking at our numbers, whether it's steps, calories burned, splat points from Orange Theory, weight, anything, we have to be very careful because I've seen myself and my friends fall into the pitfall of thinking, I burned X number of calories today. I walked X number of steps today. I can turn around and now reward myself. That's human nature. That's nothing wrong with us. That's just how we're built or how I was built. But be very careful. Let those numbers motivate you to keep doing what you're doing and eat clean. Don't think that those numbers you can turn around and reward yourself because you're going to destroy your progress for the day. Believe me, if you look at your macros, you will. One cookie, one donut, one smoothie outside of the home can really, in some cases, screw up your day's work. So if you do, it's okay. Don't beat yourself up, but try not to do it daily. So that's another thing that I had to change my mindset. I'm going to skip through certain things just so I'm going to get through to Q&A. So with that being said, we do still have to reward ourselves. So for me, I reward myself big time with a cheat meal every Saturday. I need to look forward to something. I can't eat like this year round, around the clock, whatever. So I personally, this is what works for me. I do every Saturday, just mentally say, okay, work really hard throughout the week and I'm going to get to eat whatever I want, one meal. I have desserts, I have my drinks, I have everything on my Saturday. Does it mean my weight will go up the next day or whatever? Absolutely. But it's not fat. It's just sodium weight. It's bloating from, a high sodium meal. If I have ramen or whatever, it's okay. I mentally let it go because you do my friend told me, who's a fitness model, actually, your body, even though you eat clean, your body needs to experience some shock once in a while. It's not good for your body to be in a state of complete clean eating all the time. So shock your system, eat what you want, you know, as long as you can handle and you don't feel sick after, because I used to overdo it. But, you know, do it, have a day or a meal that you do enjoy yourself, so you have something to look forward to. In order to achieve optimum health, I do believe that eating habits, I have to say this, I know this is a talk about eating, but eating and exercise, along with other things, you know, like the mental health component we've talked about, they go hand in hand. So meaning you cannot out-exercise also a bad diet. I have friends that eat terrible, but spend 3 hours in the gym. You cannot get away with that. Personally, I believe you cannot get away with that, especially as we age. It's really hard. And they may look okay on the outside, but they come back and they'll say, well, my cholesterol sky high, or that. You have to really pay attention to your, you know, what's going on inside. How we look on the outside isn't always the story. It's not about how thin we are or how, you know, whatever we look like. It's about the complete picture. So you cannot out-exercise a bad diet. They go hand in hand along with other things. So I really have to emphasize the motivation for that too. So hydration, we've talked about it. Sonal's talked about it. All of you've talked about it. It is something I'm not very good at, but it's so important. My friend has told me, again, my guru, my friend who's in fitness, I need to drink a gallon a day because I exercise a lot. I sweat a lot. I actually do drink a decent amount of coffee. And you don't realize when you're drinking coffee or tea, you're dehydrating yourself. So you need extra water for every coffee, every tea, everything. I drink green tea at night, actually, to like a detox tea. But every bit of caffeine is a dehydrating factor. So for all the caffeine, anything, you have to drink double the, you have to drink more water to make up for that moisture loss. So remember that as well. That's really, really, really important to remember. So I'm going to kind of conclude my talking points by mentioning a few tools to kind of during developing better eating habits or even measuring progress. These are just some tools I use, on a daily or monthly or occasional basis. I mentioned my Fitness Pal. I loosely still use it for tracking my macros. It was a lifesaver for me. I use it to track my weight daily. I'm not saying that's a good habit. I do get scolded by family members for doing that, but that's just my motive. I don't count calories burned. I don't count steps or anything like that. That's my motivating factor because I like to see trends in my weight. It's just the thing that works for me, but I do keep track of it in my Fitness Pal, and you can keep track of whatever food you eat. You can keep track of not only your macros, but also your sodium, your fiber, your sugar. It keeps track of a lot of things for you. All you have to do is barcode scan your food, and it's all in there, and you can look at a lot of different things. So I like it. I've used it for years. It's free. It's pretty easy to use. The book, there's a book that it describes a lot of what I'm talking about. It's called Thinner, Leaner, Stronger by Mike Matthews. Mike Matthews is a fitness god. I love him. I love his messages. I love his tips. I follow him on Facebook. His company, Legion Athletics, they're the ones that have this macro calculator I'm talking about. He talks a lot of sense, I think, personally for me, and that was a really good book to get me started. It's on Amazon. It's called, again, Thinner, Leaner, Stronger. It really makes a lot of sense. There's a lot of sciencey stuff in there that gets too technical. I kind of skimmed those parts and got to the places I needed to get that made sense to me. I recommend doing research on cooking oils. That was a big thing for me too. So personally, I use safflower oil and avocado oil to saute my vegetables or tofu or anything like that. There are differences in cooking oils, one being high, kind of the smoke point or high heat, the cooking point it's called. Certain oils such as olive oil, are not recommended for cooking at high heat because they actually are harmful and can lose their nutritional value, whereas some of the oils I mentioned and others don't. So I think oils make a big difference in our health. So it's something I urge all of you to look at. Also, those little cooking oil sprays in the can. If I want to quickly just add oil to saute something, you just spritz it on, and it's a little amount, but it actually cooks really well too. And I use the avocado oil spray or the safflower oil spray. I get it from Trader Joe's. It works great. So maybe do research on that. My Vitamix blender is my lifesaver. There are a lot of great blenders out there. I love my Vitamix. I personally, on a daily basis, don't go to smoothie places. I make my own. It comes out amazing. It's a tool I cannot live without. So a good blender can save your life. It really can. So if you don't have a really good blender that really mixes up, like I put aloe vera chunks, I put chia seeds, flax seeds, it blends it like you cannot taste anything. It's so smooth. So a good blender is great. A good coffee machine is also really, really, really great. I used to go to Starbucks and you can drink your calories, believe me. I used to drink my calories, but because it's liquid, you don't think anything of it. It's liquid, you don't think it's calories, or because it's not a solid food. But believe me, those coffees can do more damage on a daily basis. I'm not saying on an occasional, but I used to drink them daily. Einstein's brothers at work, at FDA, I'm sure Sonal used to, and building 2, there's an Einstein brothers. I used to go there once, 2, 3 times a day, and that really put a hit in my diet. So I bought an espresso machine. I just use a little bit of almond milk creamer and brew my own coffee, and I've never looked back. I love it. So a good coffee machine, if you drink a lot of coffee and go outside, look into that. A tofu press, this came up today in some of our chats. I cook with a lot of tofu, but it comes in a lot of liquid. It can be soggy, and it's messy, and it's called Easy Tofu Press. That's what I have. It's on Amazon. It's $20. You just put your block of tofu in between these 2 plates. You screw it as tight as you can, put a plate under it. All the liquid from the tofu drains, and you can saute it, and it tastes amazing. So it's a game changer for anyone who eats tofu. $20. I use it like weekly, and it's great. An air fryer. I love air fryers. You can do a lot of healthy recipes, sweet potatoes, broccoli, whatever. I'm sure all of you know, but if you don't have one, I really recommend looking into that. And then finally, we're all busy again for various reasons. When I talk about meal preps, you don't have to start from scratch. I'm not a good cook. I don't like to chop and all that. There are ready-made kits that are healthy, that are vegetable-based, that you can get from, different grocery stores or Whole Foods or Trader Joe's. I think I posted on that. Hopefully most of you saw that. A kit from Trader Joe's. I just made it today. You just add tofu. It's already cut vegetables. It's got some sauce. It's got like buckwheat noodles, and it's great. And it's easy, and that can be your meal for the week. So it doesn't have to be fancy. It can just be something that you can quickly make and get away with. The other last thing I'll mention is, for me personally, what's helped me kind of build more muscle, clean up my skin, make me feel better. I have gone away from dairy for the week. I do eat dairy in the weekday. I'm not completely vegan, but I do a lot of athletics. And so I'm trying to, run longer distances or do different things, and eliminating a lot of dairy throughout the week has helped me. This was based on a documentary I saw called Game Changers on Netflix, which made a lot of sense to me. And then, so for me, I found easy swaps. Like I do almond milk instead of milk. I do cashew milk yogurt instead of Greek yogurt. I use almond milk creamer versus real creamer in a little amount for coffee, those sorts of things. Not everyone wants to do it, and that's completely fine. Oh, the other great thing I like as an egg substitute, I was mentioning this to Kavita today, is Just Egg. That company is blowing up. It tastes almost like scrambled eggs, but it's made out of chickpea flour. It comes in a container, it's liquid. You can saute vegetables with it, and it's like scrambled eggs with vegetables, but it's high in protein. So I've made these swaps that have enhanced my diet, but again, that I wouldn't have probably been ready to do that 4 or 5 years ago. I've been doing that for maybe 2 years, but I have noticed a difference in my health, probably due to other things, not just eliminating a lot of dairy, but it's worked for me. So I will stop there. I've given high level points, that summary, and I'm just going to hand it over to you guys, and we can ask me questions, and I'm certainly open to learning from you all. Thank you.
That was really awesome, Sunita. Thank you so much. I think Kavita has a question, and then we have one more from Aarti. Kavita, go ahead.
Thank you so much, Sunita, for such an informative session. For subjis, what would you recommend for oil? Because we always use olive oil, but I switched from the vegetable oil to olive oil.
Yeah, so that's a great question. Subjis, we used to do olive oil too, but I scold, my husband's the cook, not me. So, and he thinks I'm crazy. So he's not adopted we're on different plans, but he cooks really nice and vegetables and subjis and whatnot. So I'm making him cook in avocado oil, because again, it's like a high heat oil, or safflower oil. I'll scold him. He'll have the canola, right? That's what we grew up with. And I don't think there's anything too wrong with it, and canola is also, I think, a high heat. So it's probably better than olive if you're going to cook for a long period of time. If you're going to cook at medium heat for a low period of time, olive is fine. But olive oil loses its nutritional value if it starts smoking. That's kind of a no-no if you're going to make subji for a while. So for me, safflower or avocado works for a subji as well. But those are examples. There are other oils you can definitely use for.
Okay, but avocado or sunflower is better than olive oil.
For high heat and longer amounts of cooking, yes. Because olive we used to see would smoke, and that's not good.
So like longer, meaning like more than 20 minutes, 30 minutes?
Probably at a high heat. Like if you're cooking broccoli.
Oh, we do medium for like 20 minutes.
I mean, that's getting technical. I don't know. I mean, if you're not seeing smoking and
yeah, most of my stuff is in Instant Pot too. So
Instant Pot, that should be added to the tool list. Actually, thank you for saying that. Thank you. That's
most of our subjis and everything is in Instant Pot. So I mean, that's why we do olive oil in there. But I'll start doing.
Okay. So Instant Pot may be a different thing. So don't. I'm talking about pan frying.
No, we barely do that unless I'm just sauteing veggies. Then, okay.
Yeah, so Instant Pot may be something different. I'm not. Okay. My mom is here visiting now, and she's like, "I will not leave here before you learn the Instant Pot, because it's ridiculous. You don't know how to use the Instant Pot. It's so easy." So that should be on the tool list for all of us, and I'm sorry, I don't think I can then answer.
It's okay.
Your question. Maybe someone else can. I'm not sure.
It's okay. We can discuss it further. We can do research and discuss.
I think Chitra had a question.
Was it Chitra or Aarti?
Aarti.
Oh, Aarti, sorry.
Okay. No problem.
Yes, Sunita, you have a beautiful skin. You glow. And I must admit that I have a common interest with you. I am a PhD in genetics as well. But my body is not
offline.
Yes. So basically my question was, while growing up in India, we are used to eating wheat flour and so much carb with dal and so much stuff like that. It's a big change for you when you are transitioning to miracle foods that we call, almond milk. There was nothing of that sort. So I think this is a big change when we are. So won't you think that this will bring a big shock to the body itself by changing all the growing of food to a new style of food?
You ladies are asking such good questions. This is great. So thank you for that. So I guess I should clarify this. So my belief is not to ditch everything you've grown up eating in India or Indian diet or anything like that, because there's so much, personally, I think, that my husband and I are retaining, not just for cultural reasons, but for nutritional reasons for our own daughters. That's why he cooks Indian food. We don't eat American food or anything at night, because
Mhm.
Indian food is one of the healthiest, I think, if eaten properly, right? And so full of protein, and you all know this, what I'm saying. So my belief isn't to, ditch Indian food, all this stuff, and completely transition. My belief is, you have to examine what you're eating, and portions. So portions is a big part too. So dal is a great staple of protein in our diets, and it by no means it should be eliminated. No means. Dal is a staple in our house. But do I eat 2 big bowls of dal? Probably not, because I'll eat like a bowl of dal versus 2. I don't eat my dal with rice. I've never been a rice eater, so that's not a big, some people like rice, so probably just transitioning to quinoa is better than white rice nutritionally. That's probably a change I think should be made. White rice offers, to me, nothing more than like quinoa would. But in terms of even healthy food, there's portions. So, we have family members that eat very healthy, but you eat huge portions, and I don't see they're in good health, because I truly believe it's their portion sizes. So even healthy foods, Indian sabjis, dal, those sorts of things, they're really nutritionally good, and they should not be eliminated. It's not about switching completely to a new way of eating. It's about looking at what you're eating and looking at your portions, and maybe making some substitutions, like rotis or bakris, or, all these things. Should we be eating 3? No, maybe go down to 1 or substitute, you have to examine like that.
Yeah, makes sense. Thank you.
The Indian diet, legumes, dal, so rich in nutritional value. It just needs to be re-examined, not ditched.
Thank you.
We have thanks, Aarti. We have about 3 minutes left. I think we have time for one more question.
Oh, gosh.
Any burning questions?
I have a question, if anybody doesn't have, because I can ask later also, but I would like to give the others the opportunity to ask question.
Go ahead, Sonal.
Okay, thank you, Aparna. So where I find maximum challenge is how my family is supportive of any diet that I choose to follow. Let's say I have a certain plan of certain meal during the week, or let's say I want to do a certain kind of breakfast, certain kind of lunch and dinner, but then my husband wouldn't like that, and he wants something else, or my children wouldn't like that, and they want something else. So even though I make a meal prep on Sunday for my lunch or my dinner, I still have to go ahead and cook for them. So unless and until like they match with me, which is sometimes really challenging, because not everybody has the same diet understanding, or they want to have, like, even for their health, they want to maintain a different kind of diet, or even children, they have a different portions, or they want something different. So it gets a little challenging in that way. So sometimes what gets missed is, like, even I do something for myself, but then throughout the week it gets more stressful, because then you are trying to feed everyone, and then you're like, it's okay, we just cook one thing for everyone. And that's where the challenge is. So do you have any recommendation, like how to deal with that?
Again, excellent question, Sonal. This has been an ongoing challenge in my household. It's because, again, my husband, now luckily he's the cook, but it's been a challenge. So when I first started this journey, I expected my whole household to be as strict as me. And you can imagine the conflict that created. And what I realized, in a nutshell, I'm really summarizing this. What I realized is, and what my husband told me after several arguments, this is your journey. Don't put it completely on me, right? I have my own journey. And I realized he's right. I need to figure out my fitness goals, my challenges, what I want to eat. And plus, he's not vegetarian. So we had to come together and say, for the health of so I had a point in terms of our household needed to eat healthier in general, but they don't need to eat like me. So how can we come together and create a healthier household and me still keep my kind of fitness journey going in terms of the eating component, and they improve their nutrition, but they don't have to eat like me. So in a nutshell, at night, we all eat the same thing. We tell my kids, me, my husband, we're eating Indian food, we're eating sabji, we're eating dal, and everyone else, because that's healthy. That's good for all of us. And that's good for my kids. Now, lunch, I pack their lunch. I'm not packing them what I eat because they're not going to want to eat that, but I pack them a moderate